Your weekly dose of Radio Meets TV is on its way, and this week we sit down with the one and only Heazy from GAGASI FM.
I had a really great time with those two. Jabs, Zoe, and myself, we had a really great time. Like our tenure on the breakfast show, it was legendary.
We also break down things that shouldn't be illegal anymore because everybody does them anyways, according to 947.
Jaywalking. I'm sorry, does anyone believe that that's actually a crime?
I'm going to say the 420.
Oh, the green?
Yeah, the green. Everybody advocates for it.
And finally, the big question for November. Is there anything that could change your life if it was available at 50% off on Black Friday?
We've got the flat screens. We don't need any more. Here's a novel idea. How's about we have a Black Friday special on school fees?
All of this and more on Radio Meets TV on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Do not miss out. Subscribe to the channel Finally Famous TV and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as Finally Famous Entertainment. See you on Tuesday. Welcome to Radio Meets TV. My name is Clarissa Mfeka, your host. Thank you so much for tuning in. Radio Meets TV is all about recapping dope radio shows, dope radio moments that we've seen throughout the week, and we recap it with you because we love you and we all love radio together. So we recap from everything, man. South African radio stations, radio shows, all the way to international radio stations and radio shows alike. Because we love radio so much, we also love sitting down and catching up with some of our favorite and your favorite radio personalities. This week is no different. We are joined by Heazy from GAGASI FM as our guest. He has new music dropping this week as well. First time dropping a single, so it's a very special week for him, and we're so happy to have him on the show. Before we move along to anything else, I have to remind you, please do not forget to subscribe to this particular channel, Finally Famous TV on YouTube. Search for Finally Famous Entertainment on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, so you can also listen to the podcast if you want to be driving or whatever. And just oh my gosh, Clarissa was doing that podcast thing and I don't know what she was doing and I just want to listen to it or whatever. I got you, okay? All right, so let's kick it off with our recaps for this week. Now, the only correct answer to the next question I'm going to ask is everything. What would change your life if it was available at 50% on Black Friday?
Black Friday. That's the next thing to go crazy for.
Gird your loins.
It's that time.
Can I just say something? Perhaps contentious. I'm sure you're all on the same side as me. Mm-hmm. I think we've got enough TVs, all right? We don't need any more deals on TVs and flat screens.
I need you to speak to yourself.
We've got
Mr. TV.
We've got the flat screens. We don't need any more. Here's a novel idea. How's about we have a Black Friday special on school fees for 2025?
That would be great.
How's
and
about
on stationery.
And medical aid.
Yes.
How's about that? The two things that most consistently go above every year, way above inflation.
And imagine half price school fees. Even just for 3 months.
School fees are going up by between 8 to 10% year on year, as is medical aid.
No,
it's got to stop.
Good luck to you parents on that school fees movement. I wish you the best.
Child-free aunties getting a TV.
Yeah.
That's KFM Mornings with Darren, Charlene, and Sibs, weekdays 6 to 9 a.m. And I have a few more things to add to the list. 30% off tax, please. Oh my goodness. I'm begging you, sir. 50% off something in Zimbabwe, or like Clifton or something like that. 50% off potatoes, 50% off eggs. That would change my life. 50% off SMG, something. Come on, 30% at the most. That's, Black Friday is around the corner. Festive season is literally 5 minutes away at this point. And, there's just that excitement in the air. Talking about things that are life-changing, music is also one of those things that tend to be quite life-changing, especially for performers, for musicians and artists. And Unomcebo was on Power 98.7 with Pabi Malloy, sharing a very, very beautiful testimony on what the song Jerusalem did for her.
Is this true, Nomcebo? You know, like, I'm really grateful to give me such a beautiful song, or such a big song. And at that time when I was writing this song, I wasn't good. Right? Yeah, I had a depression at that time. I wanted to take my life, but you can't take your life. Remember, you've got 2 kids, blah, 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 blah. You still need to take care of your kids and all of that. That's why when you are listening to the song, it's saying, Jerusalem, never leave me here. Take me to my holy place where I can find peace, where I can find happiness. Because where I'm at, I'm in the dark. So I want to see, because in my belief, being as Jerusalem, I holy and all of that. So I wanted to see that holiness, like happiness. So imagine if it happened that I took my life, I wouldn't have seen the world. I wouldn't have get a chance to travel the world the way that I'm traveling. And there's so many people who are loving this song. Nabo ngaba bayithandanga, ngaba bayizwanga, if mina ngiye ngagive up empilweni, ngathatha impilo yami. So ngingathi nje, it's important never to give up in life. You mustn't give up. You must hold on. Mangabe sekumnyama kakhulu kusuke sekuzokhanya. Yeah, into engayifunda ke ngele ngoma le engayibhala ukuthi, you know what, ngendlela bekumnyama kakhona bese cishe ngagive up.
That's Power 98.7's Power Lunch with Pabi Malloy, sitting down with Unomcebo. Unomcebo was a recognizable voice and name prior to the sensation that Jerusalem became. And this is such a beautiful testimony for her to have lived through that and overcome her depression and whatever mental state that she was at the time. She's a mom. She loves her kids. She recently celebrated her 39th birthday. She's still releasing music. So things have really worked out for the best. Talk about music. Pharrell dropped by at BBC Radio 1. And let me tell you something about the kids. The kids had questions. Okay?
I've only said this like one time out loud. When I sing in falsetto, I hear Mickey Mouse. Beautiful.
Hi, I'm Ezra. I'm 5 years old, and I want to know what's your best singer you've worked with and your worst singer you've worked with.
Oh, that's a cheeky one.
Probably the worst voice I've ever worked with was my own.
No.
Oh, that is... I'm going to prove it to you right now. When I sing in falsetto, I've only said this like one time out loud. Just think about fronting or like beautiful. Mm-hmm. I hear Mickey Mouse.
Oh, no. I need to listen back to that now.
Beautiful.
Oh, Pharrell, don't do that to us because we love those songs. You can't spoil them for us like that.
Hey, kids.
Pharrell, it makes me love it more. No, it's fine.
Guys, come back here, Pluto. I hear Mickey Mouse as well.
No, I do now. I mean, now that you've said it.
That's BBC Radio 1 with Jamie, Katie, and Vic sitting down with Pharrell. Get along with this guy. First of all, when I heard change clothes, I wasn't thinking Mickey Mouse. When I heard beautiful, fronting, now there's so many stuff. Like, come on, Pharrell. But one thing I will say about musicians and producers alike, those guys, super critical because they just perceive music and sound quite differently. And I totally understand for somebody like Pharrell who's been making music for what seems like an eternity. So thank you, Pharrell, for the dope music, continuously, giving us whatever and all the fashion stuff that you do now. Thank you so much. Let's move along to the United States of America. Big news. By the time this episode drops, there will be a new president, the 45th president of the United States of America. Ibra in the morning had some motivation for his fellow South Americans. Check this out.
If you're not voting and you're complaining, you get this button.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And if you are voting and you only vote in national elections and you don't vote in your local elections and you expect things around your way to be moving the way you want them to, and you don't vote in local elections, you get this button.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Because you do have to be engaged locally. Whether it's Trump or Kamala, they are not coming into your neighborhood to fix your problems. Your representatives in your neighborhoods are the ones that go to D.C. or go to the state level to speak on your behalf. I just want to salute, all the people out there that got to do that tough work. You know what I mean? Whether it's at the NYPD level, at the state police level, at the election board level, whatever level it's at, y'all trying to keep people safe at a time where people are really emotional. You need to get saluted. You know what I mean? Because we don't know what today going to be like for a lot of people.
Ebro in the morning on Hot 97 and talking about the U.S. elections. The past 3 months leading up to the actual voting day has been quite eventful in the United States. The Latin community was very upset, to very, very, very much closer to voting day, actually, because of comments made by comedian Tony Hinchcliffe. It was just a lot of stuff going on, but Donald Trump won. He is the 45th president of the United States of America. End of story. Thank you so much. Still there in the United States, Jimmy Fallon, late night show host, has a festive radio run that's coming up because he's also released an album. Check this out.
Moving in.
Great.
I have a tent.
Yes.
Like a little pup tent that I was going to put in the corner here. And so I'm going to live at SiriusXM for the next 2 months.
Great.
So if you have a request or anything, should they go through you? How do we want to do
I don't
this?
mind if they go through me, and we'll set an alarm, and then when it comes through...
You come knock on the door.
Yeah, Jimmy, wake up. We got a request.
What do you guys want to hear? Yeah, exactly. And then I'll play whatever song you want to hear. Yeah, just to pay back.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I'm really got into this channel, and I also got good real estate. I mean, channel 17.
That's great, yes.
I mean, I thought they were going to give me, channel 8,923.
Which does exist, by the way.
It's a great channel, and no diss to them.
No disrespect.
But channel 17, holiday seasoning, the red and green on 17, I came up with that one.
That's very good.
It's not bad.
I like that.
All right, thanks. But I just thought it's fun. It's holiday songs. I remember talking to the heads over here at Sirius, and they go, Jimmy, if you really want to do the station, we need 120 of your most favorite holiday songs. And that second, I sent them a playlist of 150.
Awesome.
Because I already had it on my phone. I go, here's 150. Like, oh, this guy's a nerd.
Yeah, he's very well
really
prepared.
into the holiday season. Yeah.
That is SiriusXM and Jimmy Fallon joining in the family for the festive season. Nobody is going to outshine Mariah Carey when it comes to the festive season. That's all I can say. Good luck to him, though. That's pretty dope. I see he's very excited. When he was talking about, he's going to camp out here and da-da-da. Kind of reminded me, man, of my old radio days. We were sleeping in the studio, stuff like that. So shout out to him. All the best, Jimmy Fallon. Moving along to 947's Drive Time Show with Tando Tabete. This is a very important conversation that needs to be had. Check this out.
What crime should no longer be a crime because everyone is doing it?
Jaywalking. I'm sorry, does anyone believe that that's actually a crime?
I'm going to say the 420.
Oh, the green?
Yeah, the green. Everybody advocates for it.
I'd say smoking weed publicly.
Hey!
Yeah.
Maybe prostitution, guys.
Yeah, smoking weed publicly. People need to wake up and allow it. Just allow it, man.
I think as a weed smoker, because he's already legal. Let's say selling it.
Okay.
Selling.
So, I mean, that's always been a contentious issue. Fortunately, this doesn't affect me because I don't 420. Yeah.
Yes.
But for those who do, right? What are the rules? Like, you're allowed to smoke it at home or what?
Yes, it's only within your private use. And if I remember correctly, you can only have, 50 grams of it?
So currently there's actually, I did a story on it recently for The Weekender. There is, with the distilleries that are currently selling, they have to be marked as medicinal for it to be considered legal. But even then, it's a very gray area. So police aren't following up with it.
That's what I'm asking. Also, I've seen so many of these weed shops pop up everywhere. Like, everyone is now selling marijuana.
But isn't it CBD that they're selling? It's even on pizza now.
No,
What?
there's also THC, CBD. So this was a whole thing. There's a 10-minute thing on primediaplus.com. You can go find it.
Hectic. Okay. I love the plug, Matt.
Right?
Get it.
That's 947's Drive with Tando Tabete. And they're talking about things that honestly shouldn't be illegal anymore because, everybody kind of does them. They have valid points. The listeners, valid points. Sex workers, come on, give them a chance now. Just don't tax them. Like, we have... You can't tax sex workers and not tax the taxi industry. I'm just putting it out there. yes, cannabis products, weed particularly. Come on, you're just being ridiculous now. Like, I don't even know what on earth is going on with that section, but like, just make it make sense, bruh. You know, it's not like a drug, I think. But I don't know. Moving along to 702, Bongani Mbingwa is giving us a very important update. Check this out.
Yesterday, we spoke about drinking and driving in the wake of that horror crash in Tembisa just 2 days ago. The Sowetan revealing this morning that the 9-year-old girl who lost her life, well, her mom, who's a 38-year-old woman, is unconscious in hospital, has no idea of the horror she's about to wake up to. And I'll read you some of the quotes they've got from her husband, who was called. In fact, I think he tried to phone his wife, and the phone was answered by a Metro Police official at the scene of the crash. And of course, he had to go and rush. And his wife was no longer there, but there was the body of his 9-year-old daughter. You can just imagine his devastation.
That is Bongani Mbingwa on 702, giving us an update on the accident around the Sekhukhune United player, where a child has lost their lives due to a car accident. Condolences to the family. It is such a tragic event. We've seen things like this play out so many times, and let's hope that justice will be served. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching these recaps, man. Up next, we're sitting down with the one and only Heazy, because he has a new track and we want to know more about him and his journey in radio. Stick around. Sarah Madida, professionally known as Heazy, is a radio broadcaster, MC, DJ, content creator, event promoter, and voiceover artist. He worked his way up the ranks from community radio station Vibe FM in Wamashu and campus radio DUT for 7 years. That trained him to grow and gain experience in the radio industry, a huge confidence booster for his eagerness and enthusiasm to learn and grow. The foundation of his career molded him ideal for any brand association. Heazy became a recognizable name in the commercial radio space when he was part of GAGASI FM's breakfast show, I Love Mornings. Through his determination, hard work, and love for what he does, Heazy is now the host of one of South Africa's biggest nighttime shows. GAGASI FM's After 8 is After 8, and also hosts GAGASI FM's Urban Top 30 on Saturdays. Heazy is a trusted brand on and off air as well. As an incredible host, he has hosted the Migos South African tour alongside Nomalanga Shozi and Balinkosi, presented the Simon Sabela Awards with Kanyimbawu, and an incredible brand ambassador. Heazy has also hosted Brothers Zakes Bantwini's 20 years in music celebration. And as the brand grows, Heazy is finally ready to release his brand new single.
After 8 is After 8 on GAGASI FM. The name is Heazy and I'm famous. Now this one, friends, is not just a radio show, it's an experience.
Heazy, welcome to Radio TV.
Ah, man, I'm honored. Thank you for having me.
How are you?
You grand, Wena?
I'm okay. I called Heazy this one time, just a random thing. I was like, he's like, first of all, I'm a millionaire, we're ready to meet you.
Relax. Yeah, because I've been waiting for this call. I've been.
Ah, man, here it is.
I've been. I'm like, okay, now I see what you're doing. I see your moves. When am I coming through? When am I coming to the show?
Yeah, welcome home. Welcome home.
I know this is home. This is amazing, guys. You guys have done well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You know,
I know. I know.
No, thank you so much. Heazy, man, the coolest kid on radio in KZN. People know you. They know. I think they've followed you for a very long time as well. For us on the show, obviously, we just want to get to know more about you.
Okay.
Imvelaphi yakho, and also how you got into the crazy and amazing medium of radio. So let's start there, man. Who Heazy? Do people still call you Sir?
Yeah, no.
I do mean it's about that.
That's how I know what I know sexual be.
Sure.
Like, khona abantu abangibiza ngoSiya, khona abantu abangibiza ngoMahola because igama lami lelo.
I remember that actually a long time ago.
Yeah, igama lami lakamash. Actually, you'd be shocked because even when I have like conversations on radio and I'm asking for people to come through and we have a chat.
Yeah.
Khona abantu abangenayo, but hey Mahola, I'm like, I know you definitely know me from. Yo, Clarissa. Amagama uyawathola bukhulu lokishini ne. Because also now I'm pretty sure mhlawumbe khona igama abakubiza ngalo ngakini, you know. Amagama nje uyawathola, but ngalithola through my soccer career growing up kwaMashu. That's how I got the name Umahola, and then Umahola sort of graduated to uholistic.
Nazo.
Yeah, well, sebeyalishuna manje abangani bami abathize, you know ama dudes.
Yeah, you get a nickname and then you get like
another nickname, you know. So I graduated to holistic, and then after some time, because like Kanye is my icon, you know, is someone that I really look up to and how he does his things. I'm actually quite disappointed now with the latest you know, revelations of him being involved with Diddy and so on. I'm hoping we'd see everything that's there is untrue. But I mean, and then Mixed Days, I thought from holistic to holistic East, you know, because Kanye West, holistic East, you know.
Yes.
And then after some time, Kanye changed to not being Kanye, like just being Heazy, you know, and then the holistic became Heazy.
Nazo.
Yeah.
Nazo.
Yeah.
Yo.
Umlando, serious, I'm telling you.
So tell me about Heazy Wamashu. Born there?
Born kwaMashu, grew up there. Ngakhula kwagogo for isikhashana, and then uma waswaphuma kwagogo to kuhlala abantwana bakhe. So it was 4 of us ekhaya. My big brother Olani, then uzakhela uZakes, then my sister uPhumla, and then there's me. Sakhula sasuka kwa-F sayohlala kwa-K.
Okay.
So that's where I spent most of my primary school days and a bit of my high school days, because I think around like grade 10, 11, so then I moved out to go live with my brother uzakhele. Yeah, but most of my teenage life kwaMashu kwa-K.
What was Usia like as a kid?
Hey, easy, man. Like I think I was a very easygoing. Ngahamba Sunday school.
Sure.
I went to church like traditionally.
What church?
Well, ekhaya sikhule sikhonza eZayoni.
Okay.
And then after some time, ngase ngakhonza kwaMashu Christian Center. But uSunday school ngufunde nguhambe eLuthela. Kwakhona isonto ngasekhaya kuthiwa iseLuthela, not too far from my house, like it was like a walking distance. So mina nabangani bami ke oSky, oGazi, oSthe, oBomsi, oKwenza, we all went to the same Sunday school.
Sure.
You know, and like Monday to Friday ngise grounding ngiyajima, and then Saturday Sunday ngise gaming ngidlala ibhola, you know. Yeah, inhlonipho nje was mostly into ephambili, you know, being like trustworthy and being someone that the community can rely on.
Sure.
You know, angizange ngibohlupho. Like I remember this one time, the one time we actually got into trouble with Kaslam was when besiqala ukuhlakanipha. I think we're around like grade 10, 11. Kwaba khona uKhisimusi, and now sesiqala ukuhlakanipha yabo. Sibona abantu ukuthi uKhisimusi bayaphuza beze ukuthi ke nathi sazama ke sahlanganisa inyuka sayithola into esithulayo, but because we don't even know ukuthi how you consume alcohol, awona nje ukuthenga ibhodlela elibhedayo saliphuza school, you are stawona nje.
What was it?
Yo,
what was it?
Lalineyintamba. One of those cheap alcohol. I'm not gonna mention that name. Lalineyintamba kodwa saliphuza nje singafakanga dash, singafakanga ice. It was a mess.
What did you guys do?
It was a mess. I think we all ended up sleeping over at one of our friends' house. But to get abazali basebephumile because they were worried ukuziphi ingane zonke akhona oyedwa otholakalayo.
Yeah.
Sathola nje silelo biyacu zonke at this one guy's house. And I think safikela ekhaya, my big brother uXolani wasibona ukuthi wakade niphuza, wasipha i-drink eshisani.
Yeah.
Wasipha ama-cake, ama-choice assorted, akaKhisimusi. Imagine having to eat that. Uphethe hangover, you know, and saklina amagceke. I think saqala uklina igceke ekhaya. We moved to that was our punishment. Ukuthi benenzani.
Yes.
Sabona lapho ukuthi no, utshwala is actually not really our thing, you know. So we'll wait until such time we grand.
Yeah.
We become like legal for us to actually consume alcohol. But we learned a lesson. Yeah.
What were your dreams? What was young Heazy's dreams and aspirations? Like when you looked at yourself in the world, what did you want to become?
The other day on radio, I was having a conversation about, because there's this study I came across that says 2 out of 3 of abantu have no idea what they're good at and what their strengths are, At that time, impilo was black and white. Impilo back then wasn't as, hectic as now, kwakudlala ibhola, and thinking ukuthi because uzimisele ground, then you're probably gonna become a professional player, And then as time goes on, you then start realizing what, okay, maybe this is not really where I want to see myself. But I had an idea, ukuthi I am someone that can literally stand in front of people and command, and this I realized through our soccer awards. I'm also it's to big pelunyanga sebanama awards, and each time when it's nalama award maybe for MC, I'd be the MC, and me thinking Wuti, maybe it's because like I'm out there, but I then started realizing Wuti, even when I'm taking a shower, I'm probably listening to the radio at the time. Most people, when they take a shower, but yeah, I am in a shower and ngilingisela umsakazo thile eradioweni, and I'm doing ama-link amathile ubekuphelile ingoma, I am probably back announcing that song without even realizing what this is me back announcing. Tebe sihambe isikhathi, now I have to basically choose like a career path, because since Manje High School I need to get into varsity. There were mistakes lapha nalapha.
What did you do?
I found myself because at the time my big brother Utolani is a chemical engineer, and I'm like, okay, engineering is a thing, because now information is just moving around with engineering in a mile.
Yes.
So ngizama ukusosa out ukuthi engineering in a mile, and then unabantu abathi but yazi wena Mahola, you are so convincing, like when you speak, like people listen to you, maybe you should be a lawyer, I'm like, now I have these lawyer things like running behind me, which okay, maybe I should actually pursue a career in LLB. But so come and then I found myself doing civil engineering, but actually that didn't work out. I had to drop out, and I basically gap here. Now I'm trying to find myself until such time when I was driving with my brother, and I think they are a Escolene UKZN at the time, was a kid, and it's like, see, I was with radio. So I'm like, yeah, no. Actually, as which I really love radio. It's see, you're trying to kuluma, like you don't stop, like you just go on and on and on. I think you should try looking at a radio. And this is already in my gap here, angazi, because I'm probably the 2 in 3 people that don't know what I'm good at and what my strengths are at that time.
Tell me about because I believe that it builds character, especially for us. What was entertaining for you as a youngster? Like, what did you do for entertainment? What was the nice thing that you do when you think about it? Because I can think, like, for me, I remember being younger. I had an aunt. Was like my mom's little sister, and she was in PE and then Joburg, and she made me like lots of magazines, like Omar Clay and all those things. That was so much fun. I'm like, so cool. Besides obviously radio and television, what was entertainment for you as a youngster?
I think for me, entertainment for me as a youngster, I used to really look forward to Ama holidays, because Ama holidays, then everyone comes together into like one place, having people around me.
You like that?
I really liked that, umoyo wodwa, like having people around me, because I know there's joy. Ekhaya sikhule kumuzi whereby we never really have time where it's just us as a family. No, those times were really rare. Like out of like 7 days in a week, you'd probably find like usuku lodwa, it's just us, and nakhona it's probably like for a few hours. So I grew up having like lots of people around, and umsindo kudlalwa amakhadi, second competition young dance or second competition young modela, and you have to like stand in front of the parents and impersonate someone that you look up to on TV. Spinde says I'm a dance routine back. You remember backstage?
Yes.
Spinde says I'm a dance routine backstage. You know, so those kind of things like really entertained me, because at some point in my life I was also part of a dance group. Yeah.
Was working.
Totally TKZ.
Nazo.
Vela kai.
Nazo.
I'm telling you. Telling you.
So now that you've taken this gap here, and Ubudwako is also now alluding to this thing of radio, what's happening to Ekhand? Like, what are you thinking?
I'm like, I can actually really do this. Now, it's pakisesikhona. Uyabona sometimes umuntu uyayimenshina into kuwena when unga-realize, but as soon as I mention, and then you're like, oh snap, actually, you know, it's pakisesikhona. But now I'm like, okay, so where to next?
Yeah.
You know? And luckily for me at the time, he was already in the industry, you know, because he was working with Elvov at the time, and his career was like really taking off.
Yes.
So he had like people that he knew. But the one thing that I really truly appreciate about him at the time, I think Waguzoba, because like abantu they expected to go because uyabazi labantu, it's easy for him to just go and say, hey, awumfake. Because sometimes in radio, you don't really need like iskele background, even though iskele background really takes you far.
Highly beneficial.
It's highly beneficial. But like if you've got the drive and the passion for it, we are demo, you know, and then you start working your way around for you to grow within the space. So he organized a meeting with SGQEMEZA, Sipombata, of Ukhozi FM.
That's the first radio person you met?
That's the first radio person
crazy.
I met. So he was like, yeah, no, Ntwana, you know what, how far do you want to go with this thing? Like if you want to take a shortcut, your career nice or a shortcut.
Sure.
But if you really want to take it far and become the best at what you do, hambi scale.
Sure.
And then I'm like, okay, so what am I doing scale? Radio production. What? Like, no, go study journalism. And I'm like, okay, cool, sharp then. So I studied journalism. Studied journalism at Demlin Westridge campus for 3 years. But on my third year, wamele ngenze internship.
Okay.
And then that's where I found myself at Vibe FM. At the time.
Back to Amash.
Yeah, Uvuma lapha K-Cap. Uvuma was doing.
Yes.
12 to 3, and I had to shadow as his producer. First time, because you just have this mindset about radio.
Wait, how did you even reach out to him?
No, mina ngamthola esekhona vele uvuma eVibe FM. But eVibe FM ngayela mina straight. Ngabanikeza incwadi esesikoleni ukuthi look, I have this program that I need to start. So if it's a corner space, I just need to shadow and see what happens around, you know, the radio industry. And then ngathola lelo thuba. But Uvuma was doing 12 to 3, so at some point I had to shadow a show that actually goes on air. So ubungayi understanding radio. If you get there, corner studio, and people are just talking, and there's music, and that's it. You know, you understand. Look, there's actually prep that goes behind. There's a tech producer. There's a content producer. There's a news department. There's a traffic department. There's a sales what. So I'm getting them like, it's like it's a real thing, you know. So that's why I started. I started as I was at the news department, and luckily for me, because I have the journalism background, it was easy for me to grasp. And then content producing. Tech producing, I won't lie, like I'm not tech savvy. I'm not a guy like to call if your phone has problems or your computer has problems. Like I'm definitely not the person, but angizangize ngijwayele kakhulu in tech production, but content production and actually being on air is something that I really learned a lot at Vibe FM.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what happens at the end of your internship?
End of internship, yeah, Pela, and you see Pela already saying nama shows that I get to fill in for Lapane Vibe. So if we present Aiko and say, yo, bro, can you come through?
And I think that's the sweetest part of community radio stations, because they have that allowance to let you try.
Yeah.
And it's almost, I don't want to say it comes at no cost, but it's almost like the perfect ground, like a playground for you to learn and figure yourself out.
It's so great. It's so great, you know. I won't even lie. I look at our industry now, and I look at abantu who are coming in. I don't want to say it's unfortunate, but I fear sometimes for umuntu othi angena commercial radio, you know, with no community background and no like online radio or campus radio background, because that's where you learn about who you are as a presenter, and then you start working on those things to prepare you for the bigger stage.
And you know? Just polish it up a little bit.
You know what I mean?
So that you don't get into like, because commercial is a big platform.
It's a huge platform. It's a huge platform. So I look at how the industry is set up right now. I would say, look, basically, if you are someone that is trendy, that is cool, and there's a lot happening for you, you can just knock on the door, and then the commercial radio is serious business.
Sure.
And for me, like I always say, it's just that like I hope I don't come across as someone who's being controversial right now. Like, people don't understand, I would say broadcasters. Commercial radio, you are doing radio, yes. But that is not the core essence of radio.
Sure.
The core essence of radio, you'd find that in campus radio, in community radio. When you do a radio on a commercial stage, you're doing client radio.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, people need to get paid.
Yes.
So honestly, you can be yourself, but you must always be mindful. Look, clients are listening.
Sure.
So I need to make sure whatever that I'm doing, you know, ihamba style guide like that.
So now that you are in community, so you have my shows that here and there. What's the feeling like? You graduating like journalism? Yes.
Yes. Journalism and media studies.
Sure. Yeah. And now do you now feel a sense of you are ready to now fully challenge this radio thing because you already have this qualification as well?
Dope. Yeah. No. Honestly, now I'm like, okay, so what's next? Yeah. Well, where's Alan? Am I going in there as a news reporter? Am I going in there as a field journalist? Am I going in there as a broadcaster?
Yeah, so you have options.
You know, I call them options are endless. And I think at one point, I had an interview at Daily Sun.
Yeah.
To write. I think I was going to do the entertainment column. But I was, no, man, this one is not for me. I definitely belong behind the mic, you know. So what do I do next? At the time, Sengise West, I live in New Germany at the time with my brother and Abang and Mami, who were doing other things like our HR or business, what. Impilo like is really starting for us.
Sure.
You know, about to say we are sevens and so I'm still just trying to find my feet and understand exactly what my late friend Undu had a friend called Undowozo Pumula that I got to meet as time went on, only to find Undowozo and I actually share the same dream of being in radio.
Sure.
You know, but because radio is not something easy, at least if you are not like a trendy person, like if you are not like an established DJ, if you are not like someone who has 1 million followers on TikTok, you know, nowadays, we're starting from ground up,
yes.
You know. I have to send a demo for them to listen and say, okay, come through. And I'm sending these demos. Kumula, you remember when SABC had the internship program, lega 3 months, I think, SABC. Ngiyafaka nakhona SABC, but I'm not getting any response. Ngiyalalela ukuthi bekhona auditions ingakuphi, but there's no response. And then there was an audition that I went to GAGASI, where Dazzling Nomfundo,
yes,
Dazzling one. She won that one.
That one.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I was there.
How far did you rank it then?
I
made it to top 10.
I made it to top 10 even.
Well, you were there?
Yeah, I was there. I was there. I get understand. It's like, yeah.
I don't even remember dazzling at that particular competition. Do you understand?
Sasibaningi lapha.
Oh,
Remember ukuthi
back center.
kwaze kwaphela ngabo 2 ekuseni,
Yes.
3 a.m. ekuseni.
That day,
Sasibaningi.
I had, because at that point, I was on community.
Yeah.
I had my radio show. I called and I was like,
You can't even say, look, ngizama manje la nhlaza la.
I was in community. I was like, no, guys, like, upvoom.
And
Yeah.
I have to like shout out to Vusi Letwalo on that one because
Right?
now yena la phayana Vusi Letwalo was there. Lego Motion was there. I think there was I said Koshi, but there was also a lady. So bengena, because now bongena, you and the judges have to say if no shy link.
Yes.
I think I fluffed like the first time. And Lego was like, come down.
Yeah.
Go again.
Sure.
And then I fluffed the second time. And the voice is like, you know what, actually, it's just some more. Got it, food. And then Uvusi, as I'm speaking, is like, hold on. As Uvusi, it doesn't take me more than a minute, more than 20 seconds to see if someone is a broadcaster. Sure. You are definitely it. I'm going to put you on the next one, but make sure that you're more prepared when you come through next time. Like, hey, okay, it's definitely happening. Do you know who else was there?
Who?
Dominic Jata.
Really?
Yeah, he was there.
Oh my God.
Dominic Jata was also there, but that's where I met Dominic. Yeah, that's where I met Dominic. Why Sashala Estenga at that time, because now Usese chose. But unfortunately, Gagasi did not happen. Then Talks and I shared the same dream. And then Talks when umngani wakhe kuthiwa uNdu ohlele eWestville North. uNdu naka benomshito one equipment, nje une microphone, une computer, bo ubuya recordisa ama rappers la kwakhe ekhaya kubo because the outside room. So we spoke to Undu, Talks. Talks already, this thing was in motion, but Talks is like, I need someone to be here with me. We called it Black Noise Friday. So we record on Thursday night, Undua edite. Friday, about 12, say release. It's just 30 minutes of internet radio. 30 minutes. So you download the link like you're downloading a song. Yes. You download the link and then you listen. So that sort of took off as well, because the entertainment thing, BIS, and Twitter was also like taking off. Yeah. So that's where we used to send them my link and people listen to Black Noise just to see what's happening around. It's It was really cool.
I did not know.
It was really cool. And then Kumbula ngisuka ke ngithunyiwe ekhaya DUT ukuthi ngiyokhipha imali FNB. Bengifike FNB ngibona ipost ebhaliwe Radio DUT is looking for presenters. What. I'm like, yeah. Took a picture. I called. Yazi abanje bana phone. Chase of East Coast Radio 3 to 6. And those bulls like, come through. Let's see what you got.
Sure.
Yeah. So as up at Radio DUT, I did my fair share of campus radio, and I think it demo Radio DUT GAGASI was from a Radio DUT. That's why I took my demo to GAGASI, and then I got a call from GAGASI, and I called her for 2 years of GAGASI, and you're like, this is it now. Now I'm gonna be driving a Range Rover, because I mean, hey, I'm a radio presenter, say Tewini as a case, and then they used to drive nice cars, bruh. Yo,
when I was in high school. On Alex and the Morning Crew, my friends and I used to gang all the time, because Opumlan would always make references.
Yes, yeah.
He would literally always make reference to the fact that namase Pumile freeway. Keep your seatbelts. Shaya mini Kupain.
Yo,
I was 5 seatbelts in Lokshin.
I'm telling you.
And I promise you, we're like, why would you not
look?
Come on.
They want to bohamba emgaqweni, and these cars used to be branded. I don't know why they don't do it anymore. These cars used to be branded. Obama Kosa of East Coast Radio, nice cars.
Yeah.
What were driven by. Umzokoloko was driving a Mini Cooper at that time. Like, yo, that's my life. Ben Figa la Pekakas, it's okay, sharp. Here's your time slot. I was excited because, Vele was a Kaleni, Opumlan SGQEMEZA told me, look, if you want to have a long career in the state, I'm a shortcut funagad. When we call from ground up, we are cool. So 1 to 4 wasn't, but my best and good, hey, Na man. Mina bengizohola at least about 70K. Yo, hi guys, yo.
What is, looking back now, what is probably the biggest lesson you learned at DUT, Radio DUT?
Was to, Radio DUT taught me how to work well under pressure.
Sure.
You know, I want to sebenza nge-equipment engekho up to standard. Yabo ingoma uyibone ngoba ilandelayo. Seyajumpa sengene enye ingoma and nabusabhekanaza yabo. So it taught me how to, like, as soon as being on the mic, just be cool, calm and collected, you know. Obviously gachelism futhi uyafunda ukuthi, like in most cases when you speak igama all khiphayo already leli elinye uzolikhipha next usuyalazi yabo, so that ingxoxo yakhe izoflowa yabo. So I in terms of delivery I've got that, but like now sekukhona machine, it's almost like I'm flying a plane, you know. I need to be in control of what I'm doing. So it really taught me how to work well under pressure, you know, and just be cool, calm and collected, you know, and be able to deal and work on my mistakes, so that when you get into the commercial stage, you don't really start from like.
I want to ask you specifically because you also have a community and campus radio background where I know that financially it's not the best situation. But sometimes if you are really young, it's something that you put your heart into and you're not really looking for that financial gain instantly, but you want to work towards it.
Facts.
As a guy, as a guy with an ego, what is it like knowing that, you know what, because at the end of the day, even if 1,000 ngenyanga.
Yeah.
Every single day. And then there's home, and then there's a social life.
Yeah.
How does that affect you? Because I think from a woman's perspective and being a young girl and having the same experience, you're very sheltered. From, like, between your friends, your family, your peers as well. Because my ass, no guys, but like you know, like how does that affect you? Or how did that affect you?
You know, the other day I was driving from work going home, and I was just thinking about how messed up our industry can be, you know. And this is why sometimes we hear of indaba zokuthi umuntu uzibulele and no one actually understands ukuthi how did that come about. Because I mean, I was hanging out with you last night and we were having bottles and it was nice. Like there were no signs of you being depressed, you know. And this is basically because of how, like, the industry is designed. You know, when we go into, like, the public, people expect to see, you know, like I said, and once you are not able to live up to those expectations, and then it's easy for you to fall into depression.
Yes, you
know?
feel lesser than, you feel like you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah. So my thing was, I really truly appreciate wonke umuntu who has taken the decision and the liberty to say, I am going to use my God-given talent to make something and change the situation at my house or at my home or for myself, you know. If you're watching this and you have someone at your house that wants to be in the industry, support is very important, you know, for people like us. Because when we get in there, and really you are on your own. You might see me with Clarissa right now, but when Clarissa gets into a room and there's only one opportunity, that's how unfair our industry is. But I'm pretty sure my industries but like for me, I am so thankful ukuthi, like, I had a support from Ekaya, you know. So in most cases I didn't even realize ukuthi, actually, I am not making in yoga that I expect to make. You know, so I was given the car to use it for your spanini, so I didn't struggle with taking a taxi. And from time to time we'll check what impahla zokugqoka zisakhona zisa-right yini, so that bengifike phambi kwabantu ngingafiki. Uyabona ngisho,
and you're young, you want a date,
you know what I mean? So so I think more than anything, angizange ngize ngibone ukuthi, like, what is truly really happening because of the support that engayithola,
Sure.
like from my family, basically. Yabo. So yeah, that's how I truly survived. You know, nje ukuthi ngempela uyakwazi ukuthi ube imbongolo for quite some time before you actually start making money.
Oh man. So now you join GAGASI FM.
Yeah.
Your first show is 1 to 4?
1 to 4 a.m.
Weekdays?
No. This was
weekends. Okay, yes, I think I remember.
Ngingena Saturday but Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah, and my first show. Yakhumula khona Rick Ross.
Hip Hop Fest. People's Park.
Khona Rick Ross. Yakhumula that night.
Was that your first show?
My first show.
Namanga.
Promise.
Oh my goodness.
So what color is different I wanna like in the industry. So now I'm thinking like GAGASI and the entire office is building up to a hip hop fest.
Yes.
How of it like GAGASI is sponsoring the event as a media partner. Surely I'm getting VIP tickets.
Boy.
Hey, what tell you about tickets? I'm like, yo, I also want to go. Try no, I'm a ticket our second fete. I'm like, yo, you so teeny imagine banting because it's a GAGASI. I went by us. The announcement was made.
Yes.
Now everyone around me expects to, you know, I'm the guy now.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm at tickets. Unfortunately, Heazy, I say Pelile. So I'm like, I know that's cool. Lucky Lundu had tickets, so I went with him. When first Shire, 11:30, drove to Sasimshang at the time, not Columbia. Big fella Panatano. Colin is gonna show you like the ropes.
Sure.
Because Radio D2 we're not using Zeta.
Sure.
But it's not too far off. The system we're using is not too far off from Zeta. Zeta is a system that we use Espanin on radio. I couldn't have ngitshengisa bethu umisa la ingoma upressa la uplay we stop la ukuthi ngaqhubeki. I think he was there for like 30 minutes and then he left me. Yo.
He used to do it again.
But because of the background, Radio DT and Vibe FM,
yes,
akuzange uzekubhede kakhulu.
Sure.
You know, which is why I keep saying ukuthi you need a background, your community or your campus radio before you get into the big stage. It's important.
That is so crazy.
It's important.
Let me tell you what happened at the Youth Hip Hop Festival, Rick Ross.
Yeah.
You weren't there. I
know too.
I remember I had an OB that day. Ooh. So I was there like from, I think 1 p.m. I think I was doing Saturday 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. or 4 to 7. I can't remember properly actually. But yeah, like it was fun. It was lots of fun.
You were treated nicely. But like, when you do an OB, like your life is nice.
So now that you've got your foot into the store, right? It's commercial. You are on Weekend Graveyard. What are your expectations? What are you hoping to achieve?
You know, at that time, like the only thing that is on my mind is that I need to make sure Uguti, because now saying understand Uguti, you need to submit a prep 1 hour before. You need to be at the station an hour earlier. So I'm just trying to make sure Uguti task to perfection. And my only worry at the time is to making sure what I deliver a show like up to the GAGASI FM standard. Nam tengizophuma kuyona ngizrating it's you know what actually I did well.
Sure.
You know. But also in the back of my mind I'm like I do not want to find myself in the same slot come next season.
Sure.
And what I'm doing is I'm literally just asking for advice when I can. GAGASI tradition we have meetings every Tuesday, so that's why you basically get to see everyone who's at the station apart from whoever's broadcasting at that time. So now you're exposed to albums of Oloko, our King's Fiso, or DJ VUMAR. You're exposed to basically everyone. Kinishan doing jabs, like everyone is here. Yes, you're the new guy. Nakona Vele, it's not easy for them to open up. But we azama now to thole nje ithuba lokuthi if nitholane nje kancane ebalcony kube khona umbuzo obuzayo. So I just became that inquisitive person. So if ngifuna ukwenza ama voice over ama adverts, who do I speak to?
Sure.
So how does this thing work? You know, so I just became that person because bengasifuna ukuzibona in the same position come next season. And luckily for me, I think it didn't even take me a season to basically jump from a graveyard to something else. I don't like using the term graveyard.
It's a graveyard slot.
Yeah, but anyway.
It's a graveyard.
So I really don't want to see myself like in the same slot. Yeah, but I wanna grow, because I've told myself with each and every season I need to see myself like in a different slot until I get to where I actually can say, okay, ngashala for like 3 years.
Sure.
Yeah, well, until I got an email, could you please come through? We want to do a voice test for a traffic. Victor Rose Jr. was still like the technical guy at the station. RIP Victor Rose Jr. Had a talent, man. Ngene Studio Saki gives me traffic reports. It's like, I must read this. And I phoned, I fluffed, and he actually coached me, because in his mind, I think he wanted to make sure with whatever he sends, La Payana sounds exactly the same, sounds good. Yeah, well, so then I get an opportunity for you to do traffic on I Love Warnings, the traffic show. When I called my brother, I'm like, yo, there's something. Like, he was so worried, because in his mind is like, how do you come on
as a presenter
at 1 to 4 a.m. and now your voice is going to be on a breakfast show. Breakfast show is like one of the biggest shows on radio. So how does that? His biggest fear was, I feel like your career span in the space is going to be short-lived. If you're coming on now and then already, and we haven't even finished the season. But I took it. And it was nice.
Sure.
Yeah, no, it was nice. I had a really great time with those two. Jabs and Zoe and myself, we had a really great time. Like our tenure on the breakfast show, like it was legendary. Yeah.
So I think I get what your brother's concern would be of just the rate of acceleration to that.
Yeah.
Did you, as much as you took it, yes, do you maybe have the same concerns as well? And then what did your future look like for you then?
I did. I obviously did have the same concerns, but also at the same time, I'm like, it's an opportunity. Like, things like this don't normally happen.
Sure.
And if I had done something for you to say, we are giving you this, then clearly there's something, like really great that I'm doing. So why am I going to like fear for for the unknown? You know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes like there's nothing wrong with just taking the leap of faith and staying true to yourself and just letting God be God.
Sure.
Yeah.
People would assume that you have a brother that is already in entertainment and has very deep roots in it. And now that you yourself are there, obviously in a totally different situation.
Yeah. Not so much though, but yeah.
But yeah. 6 months in are you right?
But his music plays on the radio.
Exactly. So now that you've established yourself, and I think by the time you got to I Love Mornings, now we'll know.
Yeah.
So then, and also with that, I think people just assume you have more insight into entertainment and what it looks like. But for you personally, how, and judging from everybody else that is around you, because for a place like GAGASI has so many different people that do so many different things.
Facts.
How do you then want to grow your brand from there? Like, what are your ideas? What are your aspirations? This is how I want Heazy, or the type of brand that I want to be.
I think Mina, Clarissa, I was very upfront to even my superiors at the time, because I also strongly believe when I got into the space, a transition that was happening. Like, it wasn't. Remember, radio used to be about like radio presenters, about how great you are, like on air.
Sure.
Like, on the side, like, wasn't really like something that
would even talk about it if you do.
You know what I mean? But now when I came in, they corner the pressure. You would see, look, if we put you on a certain slot, Even though ingakhulunywa, but bisikhona within the industry, and I'm not saying it's a GAGASI thing.
Sure.
It's an industry thing. But we're okay. What are you doing on the side?
Sure.
You know, because now it's like the pressure of basically the internet.
Yeah.
And how can we sell you to my clients? Yeah, well, commercial stages were like really huge. But I was very upfront with my superiors. I told them, look, Mina, more than anything, before anything and everything, because they asked me, what else do you do? And I said, I DJ. And at that time, like, I think the DJing thing was still an idea. But, like, I just needed to say something. I DJ. So I told them, look, I mean, before anything, I'm a radio broadcaster.
Sure.
You know, so I'm the type of guy that you can rely on, you know. I'm the type of guy that can drop everything and say, because you need me to be on air at the time,
sure,
I'm going to be there, you know. So yeah, that's how it's always been, like, broadcaster, and then everything else like follows. So ngasithola lapho futhi ngasho ukuthi okay, I'm also like really great with like MCing, and I can also like DJ and stuff. So yeah, you know, I bet you have to, bro. Hey, you have to.
Because if you don't, there's someone else. Like, our industry is like so fickle. Like, you can never be bigger than the industry.
Sure.
You know, you can be like, even Ushalamin the God with Breakfast Club. Like, he can announce today, look, I'm leaving the Breakfast Club, Sasa. The numbers, nothing will happen to the numbers.
Sure.
People will still listen and watch the Breakfast Club.
Sure.
No one is bigger than the industry, you know. So you know when that opportunity arrives, you have to grab it, and run with it. Because trust you me, there's always someone waiting on some. I want to low. Mengase. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. That's the reality of it.
The day will end.
That's the reality of it.
So, what are some of your favorite segues that you've made? I think being a radio personality, as you've said, this is who you are and this is what you do. And then there's the DJing, there's the events as well. What could you say is probably your favorite segue that you've done, or that makes a part of the brand Heazy?
I think a bit of everything. The MCing, like, I really liked, but depending on futhi ngokuhamba isikhathi ukuthi yabona i-setup actually, where's the camera? Yabona i-setup yabo MC South Africa is not fair. If we're being honest, you have an entire lineup. Une festival. You have an entire lineup of DJs and music artists that are coming to perform, right? And you have your headliners, then you have your MCs. We line up, mhlampe event iqala ngo-12, iphela ngo-2 a.m. You probably have like 15 to 20 acts that are coming on stage to perform. And you have 4 MCs, right? So every DJ that comes on here is playing for about an hour. Some are playing for 30 minutes.
Sure.
And they're getting their money's worth.
Sure.
Like they could be saying, what I mean, if you 15K, 20K, 50K, whatever the price is. Also for that 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I paid to go play another gig. Right? Or MCs about 4.
Yeah.
Kule event. Ekale ngo-12.
Izophela ngo-12.
Izophela ngo-12.
Right.
Ebusuku. Abanye zaphela ngo-2. When, as an MC, you are at that event for 4 hours plus.
You're right.
Kodwa imali ithini imali?
It should reflect your 4 hours.
It should reflect the 4 hours.
Yes.
It really should. So I really think there's something that needs to be done.
Are they teaching you guys with codes, quotations and stuff?
I think it's just like the MC industry itself. This is the setup.
If your MC rate is 10K, it's 10K.
Yeah, but manje it goes to ukuthi if i-rate yami yoku-MC is 10K, ne Clarissa,
Yes.
and then you book me to MC, perhaps maybe the conversation should change.
To what?
To my rate to MC an hour, because a DJ invoices for an hour, not for the event. So event organizer, when they book an MC, they don't book you for an hour. They book you for the event.
Exactly.
So if your rate is 10K, you are there from 2 till 12.
Okay, then stop like selling yourself short.
No, it's not selling yourself short.
Come on, you have a half day rate.
Nah, I'm saying, Wuti, like the setup, MC, this conversation needs to be had. Wuti, okay, as much as DJ, a quota, a invoice for an hour, nabo MC, perhaps maybe, let's say invoice say more 2 hours.
That's
2 hours, imali but what when you 2 hours, imali because I'm telling you, I want to right now, so basically October, so December, just look at the events. Look at the events and look at how many DJs they have. Look at how many MCs they have.
Okay, I don't know how these things work, but I would assume if it's let's say it's a 12-hour event, right? And there's a particular lineup and there's a running order, I would assume. So if you know that you are MCing from 12 o'clock until 3 o'clock, then that's you're done. Can you not leave?
No.
Can you not leave?
No. If you know, please repeat that. If you know that you're MCing from
12 to 3. Because there's a running order. If there's 20 acts on the day,
that's the thing. If it a conversation with MC, I kanjalo. That's why I'm saying, Muti, we need to change like a conversation, MC. Because when you book, like everyone knows, like when you book a DJ, you don't even have to, say, what I'm booking you for this long. The industry itself knows what if I'm booking a DJ, it's an hour set.
Yes.
So DJ invoice are based on but for Rabo MC, the conversation needs to be, yo, I'm looking for an MC, 2 hours? Not for, I'm looking for an MC, can you quote me for 2 hours? Not to say, I'm looking for an MC to MC this event. Because once you say so, it means mnagneze invoice yam wakhokha wena, then mina sengibhulonga kuwena for that day.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
That is absolutely.
And nakhona futhi, it's crazy because you really can't be uHeazy alone. Oyibonayo lento. It means collectively, nina nonke within the space, you need to speak one voice, which is something that's not going to happen. So this is perhaps maybe why waqala ukubona ukuthi uHeazy kancane useyancipha kuma MCing gigs, because I started asking ukuthi how long am I MCing for?
Sure. Which I think is a fair question.
Which is a fair question, but to event organizers and promoters, there's a thin line. You may come across as arrogant. So I suppose ama-hour manje, let me call someone else. Omunye umuntu angayenza lento vele ubani uzongena athi lo halala, it's whatever.
That's crazy.
And then
now take us through. You're at a point, back to radio, you're at a point where you are the traffic presenter on I Love Mornings.
Yeah, boy.
Let's talk about moving from that to you having, or hosting rather, a show, not being a traffic presenter, but actually going back to presenting.
Yeah. So after Lokuzana, traffic,
you had traffic in a weekend show, did you not?
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to see which when did the top 30 happen. Top 20, top 20 at that time.
Usually with Nomalanga, no?
I did 427 with Nomalanga. Yeah, 427 pages. Yeah. Well, I think that was the idea of pairing. Not
sure, yeah.
We are within the space, and it's okay. Let's start pairing people. And obviously, like, Nomalanga and myself, because even with like MCING gigs, would get the same slot.
Sure.
I also try no shooting bangaspanisana, and it was like really great. It's just that Jessica at that time, Nomalanga, sorry. At that time, ishandisi zakhe bese iqala ngempela.
Sure, yeah.
Like ukubonakala ukuthi yabo ukuthi ziyaphi. She wasn't there for too long. I think she got onto Rhythm City.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the rest is history.
Sure.
Yeah, well, so I did that 4 to 7, and I think I did a top 30, a top 20, until Umzo had to leave the station, and then I did top to 3, and then
how was 12 to 3?
Working
with a new team, also establishing yourself now. Because
it was really challenging.
As much as I understand,
it was fun. It was really fun. Getting the news, like we're all excited, but also, I mean, I'm with team Vele that had been working together for, I think, for about 3 years.
Fisher.
Yeah, had been working together for about 2 to 3 seasons. Yeah, when I'm just this new guy coming to join, the team. It was really cool, and more so because, like, I've always seen myself on that slot, and I think for me at the time, the whole thing was, okay, once I make like top 2, 3, that's when I'm going to say, yeah,
sure.
Now I am, So it was really fun. Like, it was really challenging.
What are some of the challenges you face working with the team versus being a solo presenter in your experience?
I think, working with ama creatives, 3, because that's about 3 on that show. And so about 3 is ama creatives. Yeah, well. And age gap here too, apart from the other one, is not too far off.
Okay.
But sonke sila, yeah, well. And njengoba sonke sila, no one is assuming elite. We are all equals. So if one
is this in your arrangement or just your expectation?
It wasn't spoken about, but it's just something that went without saying.
Okay.
Sonke siyalingana, and no one is assuming elite, because I think, if usebenza with team dynamic, you guys have to establish ukuthi ubani elite.
Sure.
Yabo. So once this person says what's sihamba kanje, then we have to apply.
Okay.
Or which I think, on ILM, that's the one thing that ES sees for that show to be successful.
Sure.
Yes, we are all creatives in one room. But siyazi ukuthi once wathi then, and we've all like laid down our points and our ideas, and we've weighed in on them and we've discussed them. But once wathi then, so I think into ama challenges ayekhona on that slot was that kwakuyilokho ukuthi like no one is assuming lead, and if you try to assume lead, it is looked at like you are trying to talk above or
Okay.
It's just team dynamics that needed ispan. It's actually crazy because like I was hanging out with the show was like really great, but I was hanging out with because I was doing that show with Ule Soul. I saw Le Soul, she was performing at Balito, and we hung out together, like, and that was the second time actually I've seen her after that slot.
Sure.
After we were Sluganisiv. Ngambona she was playing one establishment lapha eMhlanga nakhona. So about 2 we actually agreed. We're like, should just cut on this way radio. Because what is this? Like,
sure. Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, actually, it's like, and then, like, there's no bad blood.
Sure.
I understand what's okay. So, Shawele Shandisi, stage perhaps maybe such is cool, and we couldn't handle. Yeah, well, so those were like the
so it was a matter of your personalities became who you thought you were, and not necessarily the product, which is the radio. That
basically, yeah. Sasha nje lotion is good. I think so about 3. We forgot to say,
sure.
I
get that.
And then it became about us.
It happens. Like, literally, it does happen. When you make it about you, it literally becomes just like...
Yeah, I know you
and
lose
I
it.
think for us radio people, because we work in a space where you every single day can be the best radio show that you've ever done.
Facts.
And it's so easy for you to lose sight of that, and you always look back and be like, damn it, it should have been, you know?
Yeah.
It should have been so much better. It should have been more enjoyable. Like, and then like you guys hang out, and then you're just like, dude, you know. Let's move on to Big Heazy on the Big Drive. Let's talk about that drive time show.
What do you want to talk about?
Your move from 12 to 3. How do you feel about moving to drive?
So celebrations. Like it was celebrations, dinner, now I'm playing in the big league. Drive time. Yeah, but nakhona futhi, because I have a mentor, like I have people that I speak to, and nakhona futhi is like when I speak to them, it's like, yo, omunye wathi, I hope you know, Uguti, this is not it. Like it's not. This is it for you.
Sure.
You know, this is not final. You know, this is just another chapter into this book that you are writing. You know, so do not go in there thinking, Uguti, you've made it. You know, you still need to apply yourself the same way you're applying yourself. When you
literally want to
still doing 1 to 4.
Told me that when I'm just like, so what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, it's not it. Like it's not it. So treat it as Heazy. We're still trying to, but also now, drive time slots are different.
Sure,
they are different.
Very different.
You know, there's a lot of meetings. It's a lot of work, you know, a lot of demands, and sometimes get better if you when ungekho ready, emotionally is ukuphetha.
Sure.
And you won't understand how, but I think mentally and emotionally I was ready for it. It really was a turning point for me. I think when I got the news, like I cried, and I was like, yo, shuthi umsebenzi wami engiwenzayo ngiyawubona to this level.
Sure.
You know, I was really grateful, man. I was really grateful.
Now, tell me about the other things that you're doing in the meantime as well. What do you enjoy the event promotions? Do you enjoy the DJing?
Hey, Fethu, like, remember I told you, Guti, like, gathering people, sibe nomoya owodwa. Clarissa, you know this. Like, you've seen me. I'm probably the first. I was, when you were still at GAGASI, I was probably the first guy to arrive and the last guy to leave. I really enjoy ukubona abantu be-relaxile, sezinto sihleka, sidansa. Man, like, so, hey, that DJing thing, nakhona futhi, nayo inama challenges wayo, because you cannot sit there and think ukuthi someone is gonna call you and book you to come play at their event.
Sure.
What's so special about you?
Sure.
You know, like why am I going to call Heazy and say, yo, Heazy, please come and play. How much do you want me to pay you to come play? So what do I do then to get myself out there?
Sure.
You know, so that people can see and know that I actually DJ, apart from me being, because you must also understand what's a competition you know. Back then we were basically like the billboard. If on an event and you want your event to be promoted, you have to book someone on the radio because they'll speak about your event about on radio. So that's how you get people to come in. But now there are so many streams of information. So I don't really need to book Heazy. I can just get this guy Oba Umsindo on TikTok and has followers. I'm promoting the event and people are going to come. You know, so yes, something umuntu, but nakhona it's like, what am I doing to sort of get myself out there. So that's when the eventing thing came about.
Were you DJing at your own events?
Yeah.
I've been.
Well, because you always got there late. I always play an opening set. I'll play an opening set.
And how do you think there would be anything that you will fully apply yourself to as you did with the radio and the other things that you do?
Whoa.
Because I'm from Kalamanga, dog. As much as we've put in the work, I think you and I almost have the same time lapse of about 13, 14 years. And you know what you've been through. You know how much it's taken for you to be a respected and recognized name.
Yeah.
And starting something is not that difficult because you actually do have the access.
Yeah.
But applying yourself to it,
yeah,
knowing exactly what it takes, do you think you have that in you to apply yourself to something else as deeply as you did with the radio?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Radio is like really like my first love. It's something that I do with passion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do the thing with so much passion.
Sure.
You know, and it really doesn't take a lot for me to give you like a really great show.
Sure.
You know, it just comes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it really just comes, and I get so frustrated when I am hanging around with other broadcasters. Especially when they speak about imali within the space. I remember when I got into the commercial space, Plush was still like a thing back then, not Plush, 47th.
Yes, 47.
And our MD at that time was Uvuyile. There was some event happening at 47th, and I'm not too sure because we had a lot of those actually, yeah. And I'm having a chat with Uvuyile, so I'm like, I don't know how he chatted to moved from whatever we're speaking about to Inyuga.
Sure.
But I remember him asking me, because it was the festive season, Matita, umi kanjani ngalo December, usebenza apha yabo. So, and I was doing 12 to 3 at that time. Ngikhiphele ifoni yami, ngimtshengise calendar lami. Ngimtshengise. And I was like, yeah, no. That's what I want to see. Yabo. Sure. So I'm like, okay, yeah, no, yabo ngamphathi, yabo na. But imphathi phela amasenta, uthetela amasenta. No. Look, Heazy, here's what you need to understand. This is from Vuyile. You will make money at GAGASI. But le mali oyifunayo, you will make it outside of GAGASI because of GAGASI, sure, for being at GAGASI. So, don't have this mindset eyokuthi wena uzosifuna inyula enkulu. Span, you get what you deserve. But then you are lo othi wena uyayifuna.
Sure.
Uzoyenza through GAGASI. Athi yabona some event kanjani mina, yeah, uthi do you think ukuthi lama event buzowathola if you're not? I'm like, hey, it makes sense. Ukukhuthala nokusikhandla comes with it's basically like the DNA of this industry that we're in. We just need to realize ukuthi, look, Tina, we are servants of abantu. Abantu basifuna everywhere.
Sure.
Yeah, well, and more so they want to look, touch, feel, and see. Yeah, well, so once you've established that, it's easy for you to start making the money that you feel like you deserve. But like if you think ukuthi going to the radio station and talking on the mic, then you have money that's gonna get you the mansion and the car that you want, then you are lost.
So how do you see yourself in music? I'm saying this obviously because of obvious reasons, but when you look at music, what do you think? I would assume you've been with your brother for such a long time, and music has have some sort of influence on you, and you also have a brand.
Yeah.
Heazy, Zakes collab. Why is that like?
Maybe like behind the scenes.
Do you guys talk about that?
Yeah, we do. Maybe like behind the scenes.
Now he has a Grammy, so you can't afford him.
Well, I can.
Are you sure?
I knew. Get let me.
So, have you ever thought of applying yourself to music, and what does that look like to you?
No, funny how you mentioned this. So the music plan has always been something that was going to happen at some point. But also, remember, I said to you, broadcaster before anything
else.
And anything, you know. So right now, I do somehow feel, Uguti, I have like my foot like inside the broadcasting space.
You're fully in, though. It's fully in.
Well, I'm still provincial.
Oh please, I'm trying to be.
I'm still provincial.
No, you're fucking easy.
I'm still provincial. So the music thing was going to happen, you know, at some point, and this is obviously to grow the brand Heazy, and for it to become like a national brand, you know, not so much of just a KZN, and you know, God willing, even like globally. But my first love will forever be broadcasting, you know. So I think for me, the music will be something that I do to sort of launch myself, you know, like nationally, and then use that platform to see if I cannot also grow within the broadcasting space to be like a national broadcaster, not just a provincial broadcaster.
Sure.
Yeah. So the music is coming out. I think saying is willing or may pumile. I think I just might have the biggest song for 2024.
Okay.
Yeah. So I worked with this guy is called Tribe of Afro from Pietermaritzburg, and this guy his name is Lindo. So Lindo works at Tribe of Afro. He's a vocalist, very rich, you know. So vocally, so he's on the song as a vocalist. But on the song, I worked with Kususa, Samurai from Kususa, Trega, also worked on that song. Zakes also like worked on that song like hectically. So yeah, I was able to afford him through Blackmail. Yeah, so you can expect that song anytime if it's not out already. But it's a really big song, and I think we're still gonna dance, and I think it's going to do justice into launching the brand Heazy like nationally.
You know, when I think as broadcasters, we have a very particular, we have access to quite a lot of information versus anybody else in the entertainment industry. When you are a broadcaster, I'm speaking to you, I know just like a whole lot of other people that I respect, very content driven, very big on knowing what you're talking about, big on research, and big on just understanding other spheres of entertainment and just everything else in general.
Yeah.
When we hear of music deals, when you hear of upcoming artists, and we look at the decisions that they've made, I'll take for instance how I think one of the biggest things that we've seen, one of the biggest probably situations we've seen, something like Ambitious Records.
Yeah.
Was it Mobile Noise? There was so much.
Yeah.
And you look at them, you sit down and we talk about these things, and it's our content on radio, and then you think to yourself, but why would you do that? Why would you sign your life away? Why would you do that? So now you found yourself in the place where you want to apply yourself to that, do you think that you're capable of making better decisions when it comes to business or music business particularly?
Yes. Inte shaya abantu abaningi in the space is making decisions ulambile. You know, indlala is basically like the biggest enemy for us, you know, black creatives, you know, because now we have been trying for so long, you know, to get to point B, because we're here and we're literally just trying to climb. And we can't run away from the fact, Tuguti, the industry is also run by abantu who want to take, like, mostly, you know, I'm not saying everyone.
It seems a bit greedy. Big corporates seem greedy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So I think Mina, where I stand, because of the sacrifices I've made to build myself, kuzoba very hard for me to sign my life away, because I've done so much to make sure, even if but still, I'll still be able to afford where I'm staying. I will still have my car. I will say, yes, I wonder but why am I changing more? Why? Guys, trust me, I want to change my car. But also at the same time, I'm looking at the reality of it. If in changing more manje, am I going to be able to afford that, in the long run? So it's better to plan accordingly and give yourself time. There's gonna be noise in the background, but also you need to stay true to yourself. I'm grateful. Most of the decisions that I make now, I am not making them through in that. And I do also understand the reason why I'm in this position right now is because of the sacrifices I've made. Since the inception of me being on radio, people have been saying, we want a single, we want a song, we want this, we want that, we want that. But I've always been on some, I cannot apply myself in a different industry. Solidify. Sure. So I'm at a point where I feel like the radio Heazy is solid now. Solid. You can literally take me and put me anywhere and say, do a show. That is solid. Program managers know about me now. People that are radio enthusiasts, they know about me. You'd be shocked at the amount of phone calls I get sometimes when I'm just chilling, and people wanting to talk about radio, radio bosses, it's insane. So I feel like that is solid. So now, okay, let's see. Because now it's almost like, I won't say I've hit a roof, but it's okay, let's take the brand Heazy to another level. What do I do? Oh yeah, the music has always been, let's apply music now. But to say it's gonna mess up my life in the long run, I highly doubt I'm gonna sign that. Up until such time, but one thing for sure is span, and what I want to happen is going to happen, but it's not going to happen at your time. There's cut some that when I feel which now is the time.
Your dream co-host.
Woo! Hey, we're this I need ghost if it's yes. Yo, I need ghost yes.
Come on.
I really want to do is season. I'm a season now 3. No, we under Kambule. Yeah.
She's such a sweet.
3 seasons, Jay.
She sounds amazing.
Yeah, give us 3 seasons, but more so yes, it's crazy how you say this. At some point, I was sure would see. GAGASI, they want to pay us together. I think they should.
I really think they could. And it sounds so good. And
no, I mean you.
Me?
Yeah.
How?
At some point, I was like, yeah, no, I think Clarissa and I are going to be on one show.
Right. I think we've done a drive show together.
Yeah.
I cannot possibly work with these. I'm so sorry. We've done a study. You know what Heazy does? He was like, Clarissa, let's sing. I'm like, what? I'm sorry.
It was great. It was a filler.
No, man.
It was a filler. Yeah, it was dope.
No, we can.
Yeah, so, yeah, no, Luanda, let's see.
Well, I just said one. Okay, cool. Give me your all-star 6 to 6 lineup.
6 to 6 lineup. Commercial.
Yes, whatever, everything. PBS, commercial, everywhere. It's a national, whatever you want.
All right, so Luanda on breakfast and myself, 9 to 12, Jabs, 12 to 3, you and Clarissa, and
please, I have. Don't stress.
No, so 3, Clarissa. Please don't stress me. Who? Lisa. King's Fiso.
Okay. I've done a show, King's Fiso.
King's Fiso. Clarissa, 12 to 3.
3 to 6.
No, I'm at 3 to 6.
Huh?
3 to 6 on that.
Wait, yeah.
DJ Sabi.
Okay.
And
Resolution 5 is sorry.
DJ Sabi, Lula Odiba. Yeah, DJ Sabi, Lula Odiba. Yeah, that's my...
He's still thinking about it. So he's going to tell us again because Bongani Mtolo also had like his ideas and then he was like, no, wait. After this, I'm just going to think of other names when I watch this. So when
There's
that
Bongani
happens,
Mtolo as well.
when that happens, yes, this all-star lineup will always change. Heazy, thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
If it did not make it on my lineup, but I don't mean...
I knew it. No hard feelings, guys. Please, no hard feelings. This is the thing about being in a particular like space when you have to. He knows as many people as you think he does know, but it just
as long as I'm part of that lineup, actually,
he's happy.
Actually, me from 6 until 6 p.m.
Tell us where we can catch you and what's going on.
Please support every creative that is out there, whether it being a person is a photographer, a videographer, a comedian, a poet, musician. Support. Creatives need our support. You know, if on a platform that can, shine a light to any creative, please do so. By any means, do so. And I think also us as Ama Creatives Nati, I think it's important we start treating our space as a business and understanding that we are running a multi-million-dollar business. It's time that we start treating our space as a spani, not as fun, This thing of every situation that we come across and everything that happens ends up on social media. It discussed as if like it's nothing, needs to stop. So please support creatives, and creatives, please can we start treating our industry as a business and start respecting what we do. You can catch me on social media at Heazy SA, that's HEAZYSA across. My song Epasejini, support it when you hear it. Please play it at your next gig if you're a DJ. And book me for your festivals. I respect time, I come on time, and I deliver always. Yo, man, I appreciate you guys. Clarissa, thank you so much for the invite. Thank you for the invite. And on the radio, you can find me, GAGASI FM. I now do an evening show, which is like basically like the biggest evening show right now in SA. It's called After 8. It's After 8, 8 to 10, Monday to Thursday. And on Saturday, I do the Top 40 countdown on GAGASI between 9 to 1 p.m. Dango.
Thank you so much, Heazy, for joining us on the show today. Do subscribe to the channel Finally Famous TV for YouTube, and also available on Spotify and Apple Podcast, Finally Famous TV. Subscribe to the channels, listen up every single week, and on socials, Finally Famous SA is where you can find us. Why is he picking up my shoes? Thank you so much for
She's not wearing shoes
next week.